Hello. So it's still the full moon. I have a lot of energy. So I hope you watched the previous videos where I talked about my backstory and then kind of read the journal prompts and prayer spell work that I do while doing shadow work. Now I want to speak about kind of the close of towards the end of 2021. I had made a conscious decision to leave something that I've been working towards that whole time, um, studying and learning and trying to like basically prove my worth and like the success that I had, the money that I had, the cars that I driven, my spiritual powers and all this stuff, trying to prove that well, unconsciously trying to prove, because I'm not aware of it. To me, I'm just trying to obtain my goals. But as I'm doing shadow work, I felt like I was giving a lot of power to those things, and those are the attachments that I had to release during the past 3 years, that I learned in my marriage. um, by just realizing my worth, and this is something that came to me in 2020. Um, when I was facing a lot of those challenges within myself, uh, my worth was just me having life, me being born, me making the conscious decision to just be alive. That enough was worthy of everything and anything, and I didn't realize that I was putting so much of my worth and power into things outside of me. Um, so while just doing some more inner work, here comes 2021, and I'm thinking that okay, things are going great. I just got custody of my kids. I've done all this work. I've built myself up, all this, and I get a call for a position, which was again feeling like I have to be successful in a career, um, for a position that I never believed 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that I was gonna be able to have, and that pushed me hard when I was already going through a lot of changes. My kids just moved in with me. I'm trying to figure out how to balance home, work, heal them from that huge transitions during the pandemic. It was a challenge. um, and I allowed a lot of things that I sure did allow, and it was hard for me to leave that, even though before um, I took the position. I did speak with my guides, my angels, and it was like, you're at a good place now. You're okay. Do you have to do this? I mean, you are already worthy without this. You're good enough without it. It's like, oh, I won't have to sacrifice anything. I'm really happy and I'm balanced now, and I'm happy no matter where I go. It doesn't matter. I didn't know that I was going into a very toxic situation. Um, that I endured and did a lot of things to try to create it to be a healthy, balanced place to be. Um, and I allowed myself to stay in this environment, and it cost a lot of my light. Um, I was dealing with other people's bitterness and resentment, and I'm not sure, just a lot of low vibrations. It just felt like envy and control, and a lot of fear and anxiety, um, and a lot of judgment. Um, and it pushed me harder, you know, to be me, allow myself to be me, and allow myself to put myself first, um, and release that martyr, self-sacrificial person, and all those fears that came with it. And I really had to face myself and make a conscious decision that I am going to leave this place because I don't deserve that. And when I was meditating one day, it was like, well, if you're able to, get this position here and now, um, with everything that you're learning, do you really believe that you wouldn't be able to get this anywhere else? You believe this is the only one, basically? Are you holding on to this because of this fear that it's the only thing that you're gonna have because you waited so long to have it, that you're afraid to let it go, even though you know it's not healthy for you? It's not a healthy environment. You're not around healthy people. Not everybody, but it's just certain situations. It's just not healthy. So when I heard that, when I was meditating and praying to my angels, I'm like, I've been through so much and got so far, and I'm giving so much power to this thing. There's something inside me that I must haven't been facing, that I still feel like I'm trying to prove myself and prove my worth, and still trying to use success and, things outside of me to prove to me. And it really wasn't to me. It was actually because I hadn't healed from um, my childhood traumas with my mom, my relationship with my mom. And I didn't realize that at the time. I'm thinking, I'm happy, I'm balanced, and all these things. But then why is it so hard to let go of something that, you know, that I really believe, if I truly believe in myself, I can accomplish at any time. And during this time, while I was working two jobs, prior to me getting this position, I was also, managing my own business, renting rooms to people off the streets and, things like that. And so I was able to do that while working two jobs, doing my spiritual practice and um, trying to better myself through my studies. And I study a lot, and anytime I can. uh, and while I'm doing all this, I'm realizing I'm doing that for myself. And I was able to gain a lot of strengths and wisdom and insight within myself doing this for myself, even if it's not professional, even if it's not in a big corporation. No matter how big or small of a level, I am able to do this for myself. Why am I putting my worth into a position thinking that now I would be successful because I can say I have this title, for this corporation, and it's not even for me. I'm working for someone else, building someone else's dream and legacy. Just using the job to learn, and using the people around me to learn more about myself, learn more about my triggers from my traumas, and work on that. From every single situation that was hurtful or traumatic for me, or just not pushing me towards my best self, I was able to learn a lot about myself. Why is this triggering me this way? If I'm, so healed and so whole and so balanced, that's what I was really pushed. And it was hard for me to walk away from that. And it pushed me to really look at what I was still carrying, which was still afraid to be myself, or still carrying some insecurities about myself because of my relationship with my mother and my upbringing. And I was still feeling the judgments of other people, and it shouldn't have no power over me. If I was so powerful and strong and confident in myself and my life, why is this hurting me? Why is this bothering me? There were some attachments I realized that I had to release. There was still some inner shadows that I had to really ask myself and meditate and pray, and I did. And there was a night that was just very hard for me after I left. I really just decided to put myself first, and I left with humility and peace. I didn't react from anything. I just decided, what, I'm worthy of a lot more than this, and I can accomplish a lot more. I've done a lot more than this. I've only worked here for a few months, and yes, I've grown, I got stronger within myself, but my journey didn't start there. My journey started a lot further than that, and I'm a lot stronger than this. I don't have to prove my worth to anybody, not to the people that judged me, not to the people that triggered me, not to anything or anybody. And that was the true test for me, to realize that. And once I realized that, it really unlocked a lot of things inside of me that I had to face from my inner child, and I did it. It wasn't easy. It was very painful. Like a lot of people don't even talk like this. They don't even face this parts of themselves when they're already in their mid 30s or 40s. They don't have the courage yet. They just keep flowing, conforming with society, and doing what everybody thinks is the right thing to do, and just keep moving. I didn't choose that path for myself, and I never did when I first started this. I always knew it was different, and I was okay with that now. But that really pushed me to fully accept all of it, everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. And I'm thankful. So I will tell you about Dragonheart, which stemmed from all of that for the past 3 years. Um, my journey for the past 3 years of releasing attachments and limiting beliefs within myself at that level where I thought that I was already healed and, a healer, a spiritual warrior, and I'm walking with God and all this. And then realizing that I just only hit the tip of an iceberg. There's so much more work to do. Yes, I'm able to do certain things at that level, but there was so much more to learn. And that's just how life is. So I will read you a journal prompt. I'm into astrology, so this is something that happened during a full moon, of course. Shadow work, release work. And I'm just going to read it to you. So you know how I journal and how I do my shadow work and how I can hear and see. I do get visions. I do hear messages from spirit. And doing all that, I try to write down as much as possible. It's not easy when it's happening, but afterwards, when I try to, write it down, I try to capture as much as details I can, because it's important for me to reflect back on, because that means I uncovered some part of myself and I have more work to do. Because now I understand this about myself, now I understand this about what's happening, okay? And I get messages. And you release that part of you, you get messages on how to move forward, and then I study, I learn, I research, and I put in the work. I practice it, I apply it to my daily life. And I do this moon by moon, full moon to new moon to full moon. I've been doing it for 10 years. I still have a lot to learn, but I will share with you what I have learned so far. So it says, last night was very hard, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The Gemini full moon pushed me past the unknown. The water in the house, I guess I was going through a lot of challenges right now. I'm just going to read it as is. Okay. The water in the house was broken, which means there's no water in the house. The kids stayed at my mom's house. Siseko and I fought. This morning was too hard, which means like I was really breaking down within myself. Boo-hoo crying, no will to do anything. I'm just in bed, lethargic, feeling pain and hurt and just stuck in my emotions. Yes, spirituality is very much like that, and pushing past that without ignoring it, without going shopping to pretend everything's okay, or drinking or doing drugs or whatever. You have to be able to push past it and really face it. My husband likes to work out. It's his way of processing his emotions. Me, I journal and do spiritual work. So Siseko took me to the ocean. I walked on the sand, and Yemaya immediately surrounded me strongly. I saw and felt her strong in and around me. It's like she was me. And I'm seeing this in my third eye, but when my eyes open, it's almost like spirit world and the physical world, there's no veil with me. When I'm deep in my emotions, spirit world is almost like this world. It's normal. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. I'm a seer, so it's just my perspective. And I'm just trying to explain how it feels and what I see. The Yemaya is a divine mother deity that I venerate and walk with, and she's part of my culture. So I told her all this hurt. I told her about all this hurt in this battle. She says she knows and she sees, and I cried. She said that I am more powerful than I know. She said all the things sent against me did nothing to my soul. She said I had to keep my heart open and free because that is where she lives. She showed me how much stronger my kids are now, how my marriage conquered the ring of fire. All because of me. She said I have to believe in me. I am never alone. And even when I cannot see, I cried and released everything under the cloudy skies, the sun and the coast and the ocean. I saw dolphins, and they said I had to go through all of this in this battle and war within myself. to release everything. I could not move forward and build anything until I faced my past and all these challenges and low vibrations, um, and the darkness of the world tried to use everyone I helped to even hurt me. But in the end, it did not win or touch my soul. My light shines even brighter and stronger. I let go of fear, I let go of control, I let go of insecurities, I let go of doubts, I let go of lust and greed, everything that was keeping me bound from my past. All these vibrations and emotions inside of me, these were triggered during this challenge within myself. And all that was hindering me and blocking me to live as my true best self and in my true best life, aligned with my higher soul self, my soul purpose, my authentic expression of myself in my life. All of it is cleansed and healed and released now. I am free. My kids, especially Nyla, is free. Then I saw dolphins started to jump up in celebrations, saying the road forward is clear. With the highest vibrations, I can now move forward with a new power and magic, and happiness and self-confidence and abundance and success. With trust, with love and peace. I said, I am love and miracles are natural. That's kind of my prayer that I did for the past 3 years. I am love and miracles are natural. So it's kind of me basically saying amen. Thank you. So I felt so free, and a new part of me unlocked in alignment with the highest vibrations. The sun started to shine bright. I could feel me and my family's marriage roles. I could feel me, my family, my marriage roles in every aspect, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, break free from this oppression, and open up big, abundant vibrations and success and paths opening up for us. This is while I'm praying and giving thanks for everything. I'm listening to my spiritual guides. I'm listening to Yamaya. I can feel her power around me. And I'm praying and crying and praying, listening, but praying and praying, giving thanks mostly. Thanks for allowing me to be here and hear them and feel them, and, like, to hear these messages. I'm just praying, and while I'm praying, my mind is opening up, seeing these roads, seeing my generations before me coming after me, you know, in my finances, my marriage. I'm seeing all these roads opening up, and I'm being shown all this. So I'm just giving thanks. And then I say my work is done. Now this is me doing the prayer. The new positive, healthy, abundant, happy vibrations and success and blessings are now flourishing towards and within me, blessing me, guiding me, protecting me, prospering me forward. Thank you. I allow the highest light to unlock the biggest negative attachments from the top of my crown, and that was the spirit and vibration of control. I let the sun and the sun's bright and powerful healing rays cleanse and heal. So I'm just seeing this connection between my crown and the sun, just all this loving energy coming and cleansing me. I let the sun's powerful and bright healing rays cleanse and heal and protect my crown, as Siseko was cleansing in the ocean. So I'm on the shore and he's in the ocean praying, and I'm praying on the shore and things like that. Yemaya also said that Siseko loves me with all his heart. Our marriage has conquered and was tested by the ring of fire. I must love and trust him. He is the one. I could see it all now was set free from the illusions of fear, jealousy, control, and all that was hindering us. Love, we were set free, and I am strong and powerful now. I can see. Thank you. And so is my husband, and I'm so thankful that we are free. As we left the beach, the sun was shining bright, and I saw my light shining as bright, just as bright. But there was also a new power, a magic surrounding me and my light. It was a powerful fire. Big, powerful tornado flames, a ring of fire surrounding and protecting me. A new me forging forward, and a new me was formed. So while I'm walking off the beach, I can see in my third eye these rings of fire. It's like tornadoes of fire. It was like protecting me and purifying me, but it was like giving me so much strength and power. And it came from inside of me, from my emotions, from my prayers, from my energy. And all I heard was dragon heart, dragon heart, dragon heart. I asked the spirits, who? They said, me, my new power. So, of course, once I hear that, I go home and I spend time with my kids and I tell them the stories. They're used to my stories now, what I see and all the, and not all of them are spiritual like that. My oldest daughter is very spiritual in her own way. She's going through her darkness right now. She calls herself the Raven, and I just guide her the best I can through that darkness, and just be an example of everything that can stem from that darkness, and make sure she doesn't venture too deep into it. Guide her, my son is Christian, he's all about his health. He doesn't really, all this to him is just crazy stuff. And I just share what needs to be shared, and he takes it or leave it. It doesn't really matter to him. I allow him to be himself, and I encourage him. I try to guide him from when I was really devoted, to Christianity, without putting my personal beliefs or perspectives in it. Just, keep it simple, and encourage him to keep discovering more and more about himself. My youngest daughter is just open to everything. She's just learning, what she likes, what she doesn't like, who she wants to be, who she doesn't want to be, and she's just exploring. So I just guide her so that she's learning what she wants to learn and making her own decisions, not being influenced by other people or from anything outside of love. And that's it. I just support my kids that way, and my journey is my own, and I just share with them when I can. So now that this has happened and I was shown this and I have this new energy inside of me, what I do is I research what is this ring of fire, because I hear my guides, they talk about it. They talk about this dragon heart. I start simple because it's something I don't know. I have no idea what this is. I just know what was happening, what stemmed from it, the emotions, and what was created from it. And now I have to research within myself and just learning and reading, and I write everything down that I research, and I will read you just some things, not everything. It's a lot. It's a lot from different beliefs and cultures and things like that, and I take what resonates with me, what speaks to me, and I try to write down, so I can get an understanding of what's being unlocked in me, and get an understanding of what I'm walking with now, and the energy that I'm walking with, until I learn how to master it. And then at the end of that part of myself and my journey, I'm going to learn something new. So the two things that stuck out to me during that time, that cleansing, was Dragon Heart and the Ring of Fire. So I did a journal prompt. What is the power of the Ring of Fire and the Dragon Heart? How to embrace it? So I just started studying. Ring of Fire, things that I learned, is fires of purification. Alchemical, like alchemy, I can't pronounce that word. Transformation within. Release fear from mind, heart, and be supported in spiritual progress so that the higher purpose that is guiding my path can be fulfilled. Moment of shifting from one reality to another. Massive change in which my inner wisdom from my soul level of my being will communicate all that I need to know for my own healing and for the fulfillment of my divine soul, purpose, and mission. And it will guide me to find ways to support myself emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It's a lot. It's a spirit of freedom and truth, the inner wisdom of unity of all life, and it has now given a physical voice in the hearts and minds and consciousness of all people. This is a profound evidence of God's light in action in the world. The freedom is God's gift to all souls. Each human heart carries within itself the deep inner knowing of this truth. Removing those limiting beliefs and those illusions of fear, and gaining that wisdom within yourself of how everything's all connected, and then embracing all of it, the good, the bad, the darkness, the shadow parts, the parts that we deny that we have within ourselves, or ignore, or in denial about. And then, now that I'm researching this, my next things that I write down, it's a lot. I allow myself to have support, love, and care to pass and conquer the spiritual ring of fire that is burning away the vast Fistals or something like that, of illusion and separation of low vibrations. I allow myself to take time to be with myself, with nature, to ground the new energies of in my body with all the love and blessings it has to offer. And then I write myself a simple prayer. Moonchild, be free, free from the ties of being boxed, free from the norms of those whose status of the status quo. Find your path and follow it to the moon. So that's me talking to myself, my higher self. And I write and I study and I, research all these things. It's just pages of it, of what I need to learn and harness and how to do it, what kind of energy does it work with, and then removing those, limiting beliefs. One of the things that says, our only commandment is to love. The ring of fire births heaven on earth. So the ring of fire, another good thing is that I learned, the ring of fire hints a hidden aspect of myself that I am unwilling to acknowledge or confront. I have to overcome the negativity in my life. I was irrationally concerned about the well-being of others instead of myself. I am receptive and joyous now. I have experienced a surge of confidence. And this purification brought relief. And it symbols protection. The ring of fire to me means a battle won, a new protection of power gained, surrounding myself and my light and all of me. Everything. And I started studying also dragons, animal spirits. What is a dragon? What does it mean? I never walked with a freaking dragon before. So, it inspires great inner strength and endurance, power and discipline for me. A symbol of strength and goodness and courage and endurance, as well as the vigilance and security and the spirit of change. Yeah, that definitely happened in the past few months after all that. But that for me was the beginning of a new me, and I'm still working on releasing a lot of things. I'm still facing a lot, especially with this full moon. But I just wanted to give you, some information of things that I've discovered and learned, and how I've witnessed it and felt it within myself. Bye, guys.